Good morning, everyone. Let's start our lesson. Please look at the pictures. Have you ever heard about the stories? Do you have any questions related to the pictures? Okay, students. Now, please look at the explanation of narrative text. Now, please look at the example of narrative text. You asked to identify the generic structure of the text. Once upon a time, there was a man who was living in North Sumatra named Toba. He lived in a simple hut in the farming field. He did some gardening and fishing for his daily life. One day, Toba went fishing in the river. After a long waiting, he felt something pulling his fishing hook. He finally got a big fish.
Yup, I got it.
When he got home, he put the fish on the bucket filled with water. However, the supply of firewood in his house is not enough. So, he went to look for firewood first in the forest.
I look for firewood first.
Several hours later, when he got home, he was surprised because the fish became a beautiful girl. Day by day has passed. They finally got married and had a son named Samosir. One day, Putri asked her son Samosir to deliver food to his father in the field. When delivering the food, suddenly Samosir felt hungry and ate the food. Toba was very angry with Samosir. Putri was very sad and asked Samosir to go up the hill.
You are son of a fish.
Suddenly, heavy rain fell, and Putri changed into a fish.
Help me! Help me!
Because of the heavy rain, finally the area became a lake, which is known as Lake Toba. Now students, please look at the second example of narrative text. One day, Joe and Tina went to the Museum of Technology in Jakarta. They visited the museum to explore and gain knowledge about the history of technology. In the museum, they saw that there were various kinds of technology that used as a means of education for visitors. While working in the information technology area, Tina saw there were various types of computers with different shapes. There was also a photo of a man in the area. Therefore, she asked Joe to give an explanation regarding to the matter. Hey Joe, do you know is the person in the photo? And why does computers have different shapes?
The person in the photo is Charles Babbage. He is regarded as the father of computing because of his research into machines that could calculate. He designed the first automatic computing engine in 1922. There are 5 generations of computers. The period of the first generation was in 1943 until 1956. An example of the first generation of computer is UNIVAC or Universal Automatic Computer. The period of the second generation was in 1956 until 1964. An example of the second period generation of computer is IBM 16 and 20. The period of the third generation was in 1964 until 1971. An example of the third generation of computer is IBM 360. The period of the fourth generation was in 1971 until 2010. The example of the fourth generation of computer is laptop and workstation. The period of the fifth generation was in 2010 until at present. An example of the fifth generation of computer is robot.
After exploring the museum and gaining knowledge, Joe and Tina came back home. After you look at the story about generation of computer, now you ask to answer the following questions. Based on these questions, please write your narrative paragraph about the story of generations of computer. After you finish your writing, please post your writing on our bulletin board.